What's up, Buttercup? Yes, do not attempt to adjust your set. This is the Ocho, the 8th video in this series. I'd like to come out and apologize for my tone last week, but I can't. I won't. I will not. That was how I felt at the time, and I stand by it. Get over it, because I did. First and foremost, I would like to announce that I did indeed get the permanent position, but we all knew that was going to happen. Last week I mentioned the bug-eyed tweaker eating pizza and getting millions of views, and here he is. Isn't he cool, kids? He isn't even the host of the podcast. He's like a co-host or something. I don't really know what he does, but here he is in all of his glory. It looks like the pizza is biting him back. Homeboy is chomping, so he eats every molecule of that tasty pizza. In other news, I went to Walgreens and purchased one of those at-home drug tests, and it came back clear. Now, I'm not sure I trust it, so I am going to give myself a couple more weeks and then I am going to start truck driving school. I'm shooting for mid-March. Originally, I was going to go to California and visit my daughter for her birthday, but those plans fell through. I'm not going to point fingers and assign blame. The fault lies with me for leaving her in the first place, so I am just going to start school ASAP. So with all of these recent developments, my attitude has indeed been readjusted. Getting the permanent position has given me a bit of confidence, and I feel like I can accomplish anything. There isn't a better time for me to start. I can visit my daughter this summer. I'm excited. I keep asking myself, who was that guy who once ran an 8-patient pod without any adverse events? Oh, right, that was me. And who was that guy that slapped multiple 100 pi hours? Yup, that was me too. My point is that when I am properly motivated and have a little confidence simmering in my guts, I am unstoppable. My career in dialysis came to an abrupt end, and not on my own terms, but the climb to the summit was powered by confidence. It'll work again. I have been driving an automobile for 30 years, and yes, there is a massive difference in size. But I refuse to believe that I am incapable of learning new tricks. Sticking 1-inch long metal spikes into human flesh came easy to me. This will too. I can feel it. Is the background of this ass clown chomping on that flat-ass pizza making you uncomfortable yet? That was the whole point of putting it there in the first place. He needs more exposure because I don't feel like he got enough. Look at him. Look at his face. Let's give him like another 45 seconds or so and then I'll change it, okay? I'll probably get a warning from YouTube because the images are not appropriate for younger audiences. I'm just kidding, YouTube doesn't roll like that. It's the Wild West here. They should be thanking me. Some kid is gonna see this chump stain and make a decision right then and there to never touch drugs or alcohol. So in a way, I am doing a public service. You're welcome. Someone needs to send my ass a check. The other day, I was cleaning one of the stairwells at the job site, and I was kind of in this little nook so anyone coming down the stairs couldn't see me. I heard 2 guys open the door and started to descend the steps, unaware that I could hear them. One of them asked the other, "How am I gay when you're the one who touched my balls?" I immediately stopped what I was doing and turned around to face them when they reached the bottom. When they did, they both snap-turned and got all red-faced. I had to suppress the urge to clown on them, reminding myself that these are children. But if they happen to hear this, I just want to say that it is 2025, and we live in a time where one can be themselves. There is nothing worse than pretending to be something you're not. Earlier this week, I had to go to my doctor for a physical, and he said, "I need a stool sample," a semen sample, and a urine sample. I looked at him and said, "You know, Doc, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Can I just leave you my underwear?" Yeah, that's a joke, but it's probably true. Here you see me cleaning the windows of some quote-unquote security doors, and I was thinking about how the glass cleaner we use smells like hotel room soap. It's really weird. That's why when I travel, I take my own soap and shampoo with me. I'm serious, y'all. It smells like those little yellow bars of soap available in the showers of every hotel room in the United States. I can't say in the entire world because I've only stayed in hotels here in the States. The rest of the world doesn't matter anyway. We are in the middle of an American Renaissance, reminiscent of the Reagan 80s. You are witnessing either the greatest boom period or the beginning of the end. Either way, it'll be fun to watch. And of course, I will be here to document all of it. Honestly, you guys, I do feel so much better and much more confident now that we got the ball rolling on this truck driving adventure. I feel like it is also going to be a BDC renaissance in addition to an American one. You'll witness that too. Soon this channel will take its true form, a chronicle of life on the road. My 11 subscribers who got in on the ground floor will be able to say they were here since the beginning. If you are one of the original 11 subscribers, or even if you are a new one, sound off in the comments and I will mention you and your support in an upcoming episode. We can call this Dicks Out for new subscribers. In honor of my closest and most loyal fans. I was cleaning one of the science rooms, and when I walked in and turned on the light, this fat-ass goldfish got all excited, probably thinking I was going to feed him. They also were doing some kind of hydroponic experiment. Hell yeah, this teacher knows what's up. It's nice to see the teaching staff bridging the generational gap and showing these kids some techniques they can use in the real world. Some kid is furiously taking notes and is growing some bomb-ass weed in his closet, using the forced flower method. If you don't know what that is, I'll briefly explain it to you. There's a way you can trick marijuana plants into thinking that the seasons are changing and force it to start forming buds in around 90 days. You'll need a surge protector with a timer on it. You plug your lights into the timed outlet and set it for 12 hours a day. Then every day you increase the time by 1 minute until you get up to 13 hours. At that point, start decreasing the time and the plant will think that the seasons are changing. Big buds will start growing and it will be fully bloomed in about 90 days from start to finish. This method is perfect for closets and small spaces with little or no ventilation. You can keep it small and bushy. It's also a good method if you are impatient like me. You see, now I'm giving out instructions on how to grow weed, so I guess my hopes of this channel ever being appropriate for younger audiences is out of reach for at least another week. But like I've said, parental discretion is advised but will be completely fucking ignored. I was looking at this goldfish and was wondering if he is happy living in this tank. I wonder if the kids that sit close to the tank are nice to him. I'm sure the teacher is watching closely because future serial killers always start with defenseless animals like this guy. I remember in high school we dissected fetal pigs. I can still almost smell the formaldehyde. It was kind of gnarly. I had totally expected to dissect a frog, but instead they gave us these things that look like newborn puppies. Not my cup of tea. Okay, this background is kinda bumming me out, so we are going to throw up a classic movie scene. I won't mention the name, but if you know what movie it is, you are a real one and should pat yourself on the back. It is a classic, the only movie Stephen King directed. My older brother and I watched this movie so many times it borders on obsessive compulsive. And of all 98 minutes of this movie, this was the part we probably rewound more than any other. My favorite part is when this woman in a purple dress flies through the windshield. Oh wait, here it is. I'm going to put it on a loop so you get the maximum effect. Now that I look at it, you can totally tell that it is a male stuntman. And you can see a rope or a strap keeping them from flying all the way out the window and onto the hood of that Pinto. We got the Volkswagen minibus burning fucking rubber and this dude tearing up his ass before he plunges into the water below. It would have been funny if his ass was smoking or even if his ass was on fire. Then a hissing sound effect when he hits the water. Then we have this guy. He parked his dump truck right on the opening of the bridge, so you know he's gonna get straight up fucked up. Hell yeah, Holmes, you best floor that shit even though your wheels ain't on the ground. Haha, the wheels came off and someone off camera screams look out to no one in particular. Then he slides into the gap and does a long slow motion fall into the waters below. Watch. Isn't this majestic? Stephen King should have got Best Director for this movie. The stoners in the van say something like, "Wow, far out man," before the Firebird slams into them and another motorcycle rider takes a header right into a windshield. Even though I love this movie, this opening scene is the best part. It kinda slows down after this. That blonde that just got annihilated by a watermelon is one of Donald Trump's exes. This tennis bum gets out of the car only to splat right into a pile of smashed melons. It reminds me of those Gallagher concerts from the early 80s. You want that cheeseburger to go? It's gone. You're probably asking yourself, how crazy is that idiot? Would you believe? Strobe lights? I used to think he was hilarious, but I tried watching one of his comedy specials recently, and it just didn't hold up. This opening scene has something for everyone. Violence, car crashes, and fresh produce. 10 out of 10 would recommend. You know what's funny? In the last episode, I complained about the low amount of views that my creations were getting, and guess what? They all have over 20, and some even over 50. My grandma used to say that only squeaky wheels get the grease. But then again, she was senile. She used to piss herself all the time, and shit herself. This is video of me coming back from the 24-hour McDonald's on County Line and Madison Avenue. Both of my parents have told me about cruising the circuit on Madison back in the day. I remember driving around with my friends when I was a teenager myself, so I can totally understand where that sense of freedom comes from. I don't know if it is necessarily freedom, but that feeling of being absolutely carefree, your whole life ahead of you. And I don't know what it is about the south side of Indianapolis, but I feel a kind of kinship with this place. After all, it is where both sides of my family come from. My ancestors even had a hand in the founding of Greenwood, so what's up now? Perhaps that is the real reason why I am here. I have come back to claim my rightful place on the throne as the King of Greenwood. In fact, going forward, I want to be addressed as His Highness, King BDC of Greenwood. I shall not be charged anything at the Greenwood Park Mall. When I go into the Orange Julius, just give me my drink. When I go into the Hot Topic, just give me my bag full of t-shirts. I am also gonna need to be comped anytime I step into a White Castle anywhere in Marion and Johnson counties. It is my birthright. This past Monday was President's Day, and thus we had the day off and a 3-day weekend. What's up now, ass? And as of yesterday, I became a permanent employee at this high school that I will not name, in case my haters come for my job. You gotta stay vigilant. It is only a matter of time before I'm staring at myself in the mirror talking about, listen, you fuckers, you screwheads. Here is a man who would not take it anymore. A man who stood up against the scum, the cunts, the dogs, the filth, the shit. Here is a man who stood up. Now I let the Chevrolet slide as we take another trip to the south side. If you look carefully above the fuzzy dice, you can see a friendship bracelet that my daughter made me before I moved out here. In a way, it is the most valuable possession I have, and I don't have much. Yes, now we are officially on the wrong side of the tracks. This to me is the real south side. This is where the gangster shit goes down. The rollers down here will rip you a new 3-bedroom, 2-bath sized asshole if you look at them funny. More chins than a Chinese phone book. I know that some of you might find that last statement I made rather insensitive, but I simply don't care. Today is not your day, and tomorrow isn't looking good for you either. You must have thought it was White Boy Day. It ain't White Boy Day, is it? No, it most certainly is not White Boy Day. And fuck that yellow light too. I run that shit because the cops out here in hillbilly country ain't about that life. Gangsters like me from Northern Cali don't back the blue, we stack the blue. Stack them high and stack them deep. So as I pull into the neighborhood with my quarter pounder with cheese and large Dr. Pepper that I'm sure one of those skeezy hoodrats spit in, I just want to say that we are still on the up and up. Not only that, we are on the up and up. I am shooting to leave for truck driving school in mid-March, about 1 month from today. We are going to make it happen. By we, of course, I mean me. None of you can claim anything because none of you helped me do a damn thing. I did it all by myself. So remember that when we hand out participation trophies at the end of the year, I'm serious. We are going to do it in that weird week between Christmas 2025 and New Year's 2026. I will be a veteran truck driver by then. I think I saw that Taxi Driver is available for free on Netflix. I'll probably watch that while I eat my food. If not, I know for sure that The Warriors is available on Amazon Prime. My options are almost unlimited. Let's do another great movie scene, shall we? They tried to challenge me and I was like, you think I won't fucking do it? I'm from Waterloo, where the vampires hang out. This seemed to get through to them, as if at long last they finally understood just how dangerous I was. What was I talking about? Fuck, man, even I don't remember. I just remember that it was where the vampires hung out. I'm from Humberside. I'm sorry if I, made a fool out of Humberside. But all those people who called me a sleepwalker. I woke up. Now I'm going back to sleep. I promised you yet another great movie scene, and this is from Friday the 13th Part 3. One of the best in the whole franchise. This was the first movie where Jason wore his iconic hockey mask. Wait, did I say hockey mask or jockey mask? Rewind that real quick. Oh, okay, I did say hockey mask. Also, in this movie, if you don't count the flashback of the Part 2 ending at the beginning of the film, none of the characters call him Jason. They don't know who he is, just some bald, hulking monster chilling in the barn. And for those of you who don't know, this film was originally released in 3D, so there is a lot of weird camera angles that worked in that format, but not so much in the regular style. Like this chick is about to fall onto him from this beam and they do a gratuitous beaver shot. Why, oh, I don't know. A couple throw pillows, a TV news reporter. What do you think? You're gonna have to pay attention because I'm not gonna rewind it or put it into slow motion. If you miss the beaver shot, that is on you. Don't blame me. But here it comes, so get your cameras ready. Here it comes, dude. Are you ready? Are you ready for the beaver shot? If you have young children, you may want them to leave the room. Ooh, did you see that? I could almost smell it, could you? Let me know in the comments. I once bought a DVD copy of this movie, and it came with a pair of 3D glasses and had a mode where you could watch it in that format. I don't remember being blown away by the 3 dimensions, but I do remember getting a gnarly headache after 90 minutes of that shit. So if you're looking for the perfect bookend to the beaver shot, Jason is about to get hung from a noose out of the barn loft and the camera gets all up in his gooch. You know, if there is one thing I strive for on this channel, it's equality. Beaver shots and gooch shots. I also have to tell you that every time I see Greg the Hammer Valentine, he reminds me of one of my aunts. Anytime I go over for family holidays and I see her, I'm just thinking, oh shit, dude, it's Greg the Hammer Valentine. Him doing the Elvis dances were absolute gold. It was also his nose that the Undertaker had his fingers all up in when Roddy Piper shouted, "Ooh, a handful of boogers," on live television. You could tell that Gorilla Monsoon was sitting there getting pissed at him for saying such things on television. What a bitch. So if you've been sitting there waiting for the gooch shot, you are just in time. Notice how this white girl fashioned a noose with a quickness? I'm not even going to get into that. But here comes the gooch shot. Put your face close to the screen so you can smell it. Ooh, that had to hurt. Fun fact, the actor playing Jason in this movie is actually British and a trained trapeze artist. He died some years ago, but what can you do? We all gotta go sometime. That's what Doughboy said, and look at what happened to him. Because either they don't know, don't show, or don't care about what's going on at Camp Crystal Lake. I recently discovered that there is a Crystal Lake here in Indiana. I know the original film was made in goddamn New Jersey. I wonder if Jason does GTL. Do you guys remember GTL? It stood for gym, tanning, and laundry and was made famous by those chump stains on Jersey Shore. It was all about GTL, fist pumping and shouting that it is t-shirt time and dramatically announcing that the cabs are here. So as the gooch shot was going on, we saw Jason get his neck broke. As he was thrown out of that hayloft, he's gotta be dead, right? Guess again, motherfucker, this is only part 3, and they made like 10 more movies after this. Part 4 was called The Final Chapter, but spoiler alert, it was not the final chapter. Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman were in part 4. And if Paramount had stuck to their guns and ended the franchise there, Corey Feldman would have been the one to kill Jason for good. He would have been the king of the 80s. Not only is he not dead, he hung out there waiting for her to unlock the barn doors. And goddamn, he got a face only a mother could love, but unfortunately for him, he had 2 dads. No, that's a joke. We all know about his mother with her crazy ass. I actually could understand Jason's mother's motivations. I mean, her kid died from negligence by the camp counselors, and no one was ever prosecuted. And they didn't even bother to recover her son's body. I mean, they practically forced her to take revenge. So one of the bikers that everyone thought was dead was also just chilling in the barn and picked the absolute worst time to make his return. But he did provide a distraction so this chick could pick up an obviously fake axe and throttle him with it. Well, that about wraps up our show for this week, our 8th episode, which works out to about 2 months of footage. 8 episodes means 8 weeks, which is 2 months. I don't know why, but that math doesn't seem to be mathing. It's 2 months, right? Well, whatever, I'm not really counting the days anymore. I'm just making top-notch content for you idiots to enjoy. I'm just kidding. You're not idiots. I love you guys. Especially all 11 of my subscribers. You guys are the best. I love you guys. See you next week.